Hi y'all, Tracy, Tries the Long Haired Girl here, coming at you with the February, my contribution to the February collaboration. Thank you to Roy for hosting, and I believe the title of this one is Life is Like a Box of Chocolates. Y'all forgive me for the dog barking in the background. He's gone blind for the most part. And he struggles when he hears things, etc. So you may hear him bark. I apologize in advance. We are going to take pecans. This says chocolate candy coating. My mom always bought the one that said almond bark, but I have discovered this is basically the same thing. It's just the generic brand. And caramels. Now these are the individually wrapped ones. So I'm gonna walk you through what I'm doing, but you will not see every step of the way because I don't want you to have to wait through all the starts and stops of the microwave. But the short version is, with this, I'm going to unwrap everything, which you'll see in just a minute. Put it in a bowl. Add just a touch of milk to it. I've used cream in the past. I also read that you can use water, but I liked the consistency when I used cream in the past. I also have a cookie sheet with wax paper that I'm going to use to set the turtles on, so I have a hard surface, and then we will proceed with dipping them in the chocolate. So it's kind of a multi-step process, but you'll see as we go. Let me get my bowl and we will get started. Okay, I'm back. I did go ahead and get a tablespoon of milk. Okay. So this part, I know it sounds funny to say, but it brings back fond memories for me because for many years, this was the only part that I was trusted to do, especially when my mom started making these and I was smaller. And apparently they are sealing these up much better than they did when I was younger. Okay, but basically we are taking, I think you could probably use the ones that are in the little circle. Those probably are easier to contend with because you don't have to worry about unwrapping. I tend to stick with this part because this part is nostalgic for me, because this is the part that I always used to do when my mom and my Aunt Karen would make this for years. So now what you need, you definitely need to add something to this, because my first year, quite honestly, was a fail. I didn't realize that I needed to add anything to the caramel when I was melting it. I did not realize that it would just, quite honestly, it hardens very quickly. It is most unpleasant to try to work with. So that is something that you also need to think about, and it's trial and error. Because, like I said, this honestly is the first time that I'm using milk. When I made these, last year, year before, may have been a couple years ago. I used heavy cream because that's the first thing that I found. I liked the consistency of that. I have also read that you can add water and that it will also help to kind of keep it soft, because I think basically as you are microwaving it, you're taking some of the moisture away, and so you're not going to continue to have that soft consistency that you want in a turtle. Because you don't really want to bite down on your turtle and feel like you're going to break a tooth. That is not the consistency that you want. So I'm hoping, even though I'm using milk rather than cream, that I'm still going to get that good creamy texture. Okay. We're halfway there. Okay. Now what I will do is I will actually start doing the melting process in 30-second increments in my microwave safe bowl. And by the way, y'all, super excited. I got this. This is a clear Pyrex bowl. I would show you the bottom, but I've already put stuff in it. But this was the other one I will use in a minute to melt the chocolate. I'll show you. This one was $1 cheaper at the thrift store than one like the other one that I will be using to melt the chocolate, which I found quite funny because I think this one is an older Pyrex. Anyway, I'll be back in a few moments after this is melted to the consistency so we can start dipping the pecans. Back in a moment. Okay. So basically, this is kind of the consistency that you want it. You don't want any lumps or bumps. You want it to be more liquidy. I've also brought myself, in the event that I needed, a fork and a plate to sit it on. Okay, don't try to do too many at one time. Sorry, I realize I'm kind of in the way. I apologize. But that, let me see. This is one pecan. Done. And then I will put this right over here on our wax paper, and I will do another pecan. And this one's just kind of a partial, but we're going to use it anyway. And y'all, forgive my sniffling. Allergies this time of the year are horrible for me. Okay, so again, another pecan. And basically, we're just going to keep dipping until we run out of caramel. if it starts to get too cool and get difficult to work with, then you will want to put it in the microwave, and you may need to add a little more water or cream or milk, whatever it was that you used. You just want to make sure that you get your pecan covered in caramel. And these, honest to goodness, are still some of my favorite things. They can be sometimes tedious to make, but they are some of my favorite things to eat. Although sadly, I tend to, hopefully that won't happen this time, but in years past I struggled with sneaking one out of the fridge, and then one more, and one more. And then before I knew it, I had eaten like 5. So, yeah. I don't tend, excuse me, I don't tend to do that so much now, but I definitely did when I was younger. My mom would leave them in the fridge so that she would have them at the ready when it was time to take it for the spread at work or anything like that. And the main thing with this, like I said, it's super easy to do, is you just want to make sure that your pecan or your partial pecan, whatever, is covered in the caramel. And while this is soft, it's still going to set up, and you will be able to more easily dip it in chocolate. I actually wanted to do this at Christmas time, and now I guess I'm glad I didn't, because I wouldn't be able to share this with you now. But this was one of those things that I always enjoyed doing with my mom and my Aunt Karen. When it got to be Christmas candy making time, it always meant that we were going to hang out with friends, and you never knew what other friend might join. Mom sometimes made them by herself at home if we were getting low, but what they would do is they would make, they started varying the things that they were making, but they would make fudge and peanut butter fudge and turtles, and in later years, when they were still making it and I was younger, still I guess young enough to participate, they started making Ritz crackers with peanut butter dipped in chocolate. And you wouldn't think that those would be so tasty, but they really are. Like, I would prefer that, I think, over the, like, I know a few years ago, Oreo came out with a Oreo dipped, like chocolate dipped Oreo. And I honestly think that I would prefer the Ritz crackers, and I'll tell you why. I think it's because it really gives it that you get that sweet and salty. And the peanut butter, so you get your chocolate peanut butter fix, but you're also getting the savoriness of the cracker, and I don't know, to me it's a really good combination. I may have to put my caramel back in the microwave. Because as you can see, it's kind of getting, well, it's not hard, it's just getting harder to work with. So I'll try to do a couple more, but I think we may have to microwave a little bit more to make it a little more malleable and easier to work with. Because I'm noticing it's really stringing really bad. Yeah, I think we're going to get on in and put this back in the microwave for 30 seconds or so. But you kind of get the general idea. I'm going to finish these and then we'll go over putting it in the chocolate. So, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I decided just to do it in the package that it came in, but this is the almond bark, and again, you want it to be a smooth consistency so that it just comes off the spoon. And apologies, that tapping noise you hear behind me is my dog walking and my husband on the computer. So we're now going to try to very carefully. Should have kept my fork out. Ah! You know what? Those have not hardened. Let's see if this one. I feel like they haven't hardened quite enough yet. Probably should not have tried to make this so quick, but basically, oh, I just realized you can't really see that. We dip it in the chocolate, put it back on. I'm going to let these harden a little more, but I wanted to do one more for you before. So, and see, there's your turtle. And I'm actually going to let this set up a little more before I try to do any more. But this is the general gist of it. You dip your pecans in the caramel, and then dip your caramel dipped pecans into the chocolate, and you get a tasty turtle. That's pretty much it for me. I will actually come back and show you all of these when they are completely cooled and they're all dipped, so you can see a little better what they look like. Y'all, so we are back, and I say we because my handsome husband is here. The short-haired guy. And he is going to, although he has tried them before.
She is forcing me under duress to be her taste tester.
Because I know he hates these so much. Again, thank you to Roy for hosting. Check the description box below for the links for everybody else who is participating in this collaboration. It was a lot of fun to share my mother's recipe with you. I'm certain it wasn't hers originally, but it's one that is near and dear to my heart. Anyway, if you try it, let me know if you like it. Have a great day, y'all.